Hello and welcome to my 212CR video submission. For this project we're assigned with rendering a billiards table with a cue and ball. This might result from using the Legacy API. I was able to render a textured table with a ball, cue and 3 types of lighting. Fortunately I was unable to implement an animated cue, which I shall be addressing at the end. The main reason I opted for Legacy over Modern is due to the simple nature of this project. I felt that Legacy's fixed pipeline was enough to handle such. Also, the simple nature of Legacy allowed me to solidify key graphic concepts within myself. Although modern OpenGL is more industry standard, I hope to implement that further in my practice in the future. To begin creating this project, I simply used the Glute library to create a solid sphere and a rectangular polygon to create the balls and table, and coloured and position them appropriately, as shown. The next stage was for me to texture the table. Once I loaded the texture, I needed to bind it to a poly. Each of the 4 statements within the begin and end pair called the drawing routine from the load.text.cpp, which calls the vertex of the poly to a point in texture space. Maps, not calls. The properties of the textures can be seen here. Since texture coordinates are resolution independent, they won't always match a pixel. This happens when a texture image is stretched beyond its original size, or when it's sized down. OpenGL offers various methods to decide on the sampled color when this happens. This process is called filtering, and one of the following methods I used is GL_nearest, which returns the pixel that is closest towards the coordinate. It gives a more pixelated effect. You can specify which kind of interpolation you would like to use, scaling the image up or down. After that, the thing I considered is how the texture should be sampled. When a coordinate outside of range 0 or 1 is given, OpenGL offers 4 ways of handling this. The way I chose is GL_repeat, which gives a tiled effect. The integer part of the coordinate will be ignored and a repeating pattern is formed. After doing the texturing, I now had to consider lighting. I now have to add it, so for this I need to consider 4 variables: light direction, view direction, surface and reflection, which is all part of Phong lighting model. Phong's lighting model calculates the ambient, diffuse and specular lighting to create the Phong's reflection, a more realistic, picturesque graphic. I first began by creating global variables for the ambient, specular and diffuse colors, and the direction of the light, and storing the variables inside vector 4. I then created more variables for the material properties, which were material ambience, diffuse, specular and shininess. And here is the result of the project. In conclusion, I feel that there were quite a few shortcomings in this project, but overall the general task was completed. I feel that if I was to do this project again, I would put more focus on creating more intricate polygons for the table rather than just a square, so that I can add pockets in. Then, secondly, I would aim to get the cue animation working. Unfortunately, I was able to get it working on its own separate document, but when I integrated it into the overall project, the key inputs didn't seem to go through, so I assume there's a logical error or a key input else somewhere there. Thank you very much.